Hello guys, how are you today?
Hello,
Hello.
Melanie. I'm fine, thank you. And
Uh,
you?
I'm fine too. I'm glad to write here.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay, do you remember that we have seen some methods of English teaching recently?
Yeah, I remember some of them. Um, we were learning about Suggestipedia, total physical response, audiolingualism.
Linguism?
And do you remember others?
Sure, I can remember the Dirac method, the Suggestipedia,
Yeah.
lingualism too.
Linguism.
Audiolingualism too. There are so many of them, but there is I really remember for that moment.
Yeah. Um,
Acuérdate,
mm,
ese error, léelo y ya.
mm, oh, nice.
No, hasta que estés ya viéndonos.
Ok. Mm, ¿Qué es teme-
What?
eh,
English teaching methods.
English teaching? Ok. A ver, una, dos, tres. Okay, so what English teaching method will you apply?
Um, I think that I couldn't choose just one. I would like to make a mix between Suggestipedia, autolingualism, grammar translation, and maybe communicative learning teaching. Because they. Voy a hacer una pausa ahí.
Uno, dos, tres, y empiezas.
Because they complement the lot about themselves.
And you? Oh.
Engaging, ¿cómo se pronuncia? No, es que es
Engaging.
engaging. Una, dos, tres. I believe the total physical response and the Suggestipedia. The content basic learner, there is the a ver, no, porque no se va a salir la toma. Y aparte yo no estoy en el foco, como que no tengo que hacerlo así.
Empezamos de nuevo otra vez.
No, porque eso puede cortar.
Pues.
A ver, ténganlo así. I believe integrating content-based learning, the total physical response, and uh, their methods can be combined or work together for a more experience to the environment can be
More effective?
more effective for the students because when you put more attention in this example, they know the basic task and maybe can take more attention for the students because it's a new method or not a method can be useful in another context. But if you have the the environment and obviously the materials, you can be more effective for your learning of your students.
Okay, interesting. Now, I have another question that is, what do you consider is the best option?
The best option. As I mentioned it before, I don't think that there is a best option. I would like to make a mix among them. Um, because grammar translation focus on grammar rules and writing, and audiolingualism method focus on pronunciation and fluid when they are speaking. But I also think that communicative teaching learning is important because this way the students can use the language for with an objective, for they know what they are doing and why they are learning and why, or maybe how it can help them in their lives.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is very interesting. That. What do you think?
Uh,
The best option?
the best option, I think it's like Alexia says, there is no one effective method to be your class be more
Effective?
effective for the learn English. If you combine some approach, and because you need to know how do you class learn, and for that reason you search a method or approach. You can uh, be more
Clear, maybe?
no, close to your class. So you implement this approach and you see if their uh, response to the approach to good reasons or not. So I don't think there is only one method you can implement for your class. You need more than that. You need to know how do you class learn.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
it depends a lot of how they learn and the abilities that they have for learning.
yes, exactly. If your class is more like audios, you can learn about lingualism
Mhm.
or total
Physical response.
physical response. Exactly. If your class is more like a visual, you
Visual.
need to know
Images.
imagines or see.
Videos.
Exactly. O sea, you need to know, and when you know, you implement the approach there is close to learn your class.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so now we have, I have another question. I would like to know. What do you think are the disadvantage and advantage of that methods?
Of that method, well, every one of them have their advantage and disadvantage, and you have to know how to work with it. For grammar translation, some of the advantage that I can say is that they focus on grammar and reading, and it's very useful in an environment of job or academic
Situations.
and but it's also repetitive and maybe could be boring to the students. For audiolingualism, I really like that it focuses on pronunciation, but as I mentioned before, it could be so repetitive with drills, and also that it doesn't. Ay, corté.
Ya, Leli, mejor.
Yo me acuerdo que sí después de eso.
Oigan, ahorita yo creo que como a los 15 la cortamos porque sí para... no, como a los 12 para ya ir para la parte final.
Ya llevan 10.
Digamos que
Pero acuérdate que como
no,
se
sí,
llama.
tenemos problemas, pero yo le calculé más o menos son 4 minutos. Entonces, a los 12, digamos que acabamos a los 16, ya menos 4, y ya menos los recortes de tiempo muerto para que se hagan 10. O sea, yo estoy tentativo a 10 minutos.
Sí, 10 minutos. Después de las ventajas y desventajas que siguen.
Yo creo que ya sería la parte final. Es que, como les decía, no se lleva tanto tiempo.
Y faltó lo de la motivación, ¿no? También.
Sí.
O si quieres, toca eso y ya ahí ya le vas cortando.
Y yo lo espero. How could teachers choose this? Eso. Bueno, es que ya lo tocamos ese punto, ¿no?
Pero es que yo no lo respondí.
¿Tú no has puesto eso?
No. Es que Dai lo tocó en su otra respuesta, pero no como tal como pregunta.
Entonces te lo pregunto a ti.
Sí.
Activities will apply method. What role does
O si quieres desde esa misma pregunta, de ahí abórdalo y ya entonces ya te
Ya
vas directamente a la
directamente a la
conclusión.
conclusión de cómo motivar a los
Sí, ya échale.
Ok.
3, 2.
One of the disadvantages that audiolingualism is that maybe you as a teacher have to be so expert in the language because the fact here is that the students has to acquire the language the most naturally or organic possible.
Yeah. And how do you think that teachers choose the best approach for the students?
I think that you have to focus on your students' needs and also about the teacher preferences because sometimes between the context of the students and the way they learn the best or the English level, if it ¿cómo digo así como que impacta?
They have an impact.
Sí. It can be. No. Acótale, nada más déjale hasta ahí, hasta donde dije lo de.
Impacta, que es significativo.
Sí,
Meaningful.
correcto.
Meaningful. Meaningful.
Ok.
Meaningful.
Yeah, it's meaningful in students' learning.
I have another question, guys. What do you think are the activities that we can apply for the students for that methods?
Sorry.
De-
A ver, espera, es que sí me distraje.
Adiós.
Cuídense, igualmente.
Podemos cortarlo.
Se cuidan, bye, bye.
Sí, bye.
¿Te cuidas? Sí.
Bye.
A ver, ¿pero qué me estás hablando?
Las actividades que puedes aplicar en esos métodos.
¿Cómo que me.? O sea, ya las actividades.
Sí, ya para tocar eso de la motivación.
¿Esa es la última pregunta?
Sí, luego sigue la de la motivación y ya.
No, es que ya te hubiera sido la última porque si ya nos vamos a matar del tiempo.
Bueno, ya nada más me dices eso rápido, de cuáles actividades. Unos ejemplos nada más.
Pues, a ver, tú dime.
Unos ejemplos como del Grammar Translation Method, como de ponerles textos para que los traduzcan con oraciones. Y de las lenguas. Como lo que hicimos de la. A ver, ok. 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, so I have another question. What kind of activities do you think that we can apply for this method?
For more, no.
For those methods?
For those methods, you can apply more activities for there is more specific for the approach. For example, in the grammar translation, there is what you normally then saying grammar translation. So you need to know the translation for the example one of text or maybe one book. There is you can say to read one book and now for that book you
Translate the.
for your classmate translate that book or maybe some movie or a song for grammar translation. For audiolingualism, you can to learn with a video or maybe a song, and you hearing you the language, and for that you can translate, but you need to hear
Here.
and compare and have a comparison that is the context and the video or a song for because some words they're pronounced that same but it's not the same significant. They they can be complex but there is a good theory.
Yeah.
That is I can remember.
Okay. Alexia, what do you think?
What was the question?
What kind of activities can you apply for this method?
For those methods, I think that for grammar translation, comprehension readings, reading and questions, and also translate sentence by sentence for the students to practice the grammar. And for audiolingualism, I really like to use listenings and videos. And I also would like to apply some facts of the Justipedia because it is relaxing and we can use music or art for the students to feel more relaxing.
With
And
less stress.
I think that it's very important that the students understand what they are learning, not
Yeah.
only that they do it because they have to. And I would like to do activities like role playing and dramatizing some situations of real life where the students think like, oh, this works for me because if sometimes I have a need, I can use English or something like that. Yeah, the language could be meaningful for the students.
Yes,
Yeah.
more than gamification.
Gamification.
There is more effective that you use the methods just to read this and copy this. There is no.
Yeah, they can be able to produce that knowledge in the future.
See, in the new methods, there is more ¿cómo se dice? Como agarrar a los alumnos. Engage the attention of the students. Yeah.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Okay, guys. I have another last question that I really have to know. What do you think that is the role of the motivation in the students, and how the teachers can improve that motivation?
Okay, motivation is everything. The moment that you're learning not only a language, to learning whatever you want to learn because if you don't have this motivation, you won't be able or you won't be happy to learn to do the things you have to, and it could be more difficult, and it could be also so difficult for the teacher because how would you apply an activity or create content if the students don't want to do it? So I think that's the reason why teachers have to be so creative and innovator and apply different English teaching methods for the students to be grateful and happy to learn another. And the things, as I was mentioning to you before, the useful and the meaningful of the language. The students have to see that the language is important and could be useful for them, not only because they have to learn it, that they find meaningful reason to understand it and to speak it.
Yeah.
Yes, I completely agree, and I feel relatable whatever she's saying. I think the motivation is everything. When you meet your class the first day, you need to know what is the level that can be for one student, and you planning your activities for that student or for another one. But the motivation is the angular rock for the you can apply these activities, because if you classes don't feel motivated to learn, you can apply the most exciting activity. But if the classes not have a motivation, there are no completely. Also, I can. That is what I can say.
Yeah, I think that it's really important to have the motivation and that the teacher produces that motivation in the students.
Yeah, the teacher that can be motivate
Yeah.
the students.
Okay, guys, so we have a good conversation. It was
Yeah,
very
I think-
interesting.
Well, we choose to be teachers, so good luck, guys.
We have to work at that.
Yeah,
Work together.
I really enjoyed that.
me too.
Okay, bye.
Eso se va a